Hey yo, ADR, this is King Black coming back at you again. I want to title this video, Are you ready to put in your resume with all this hiring going on? Or are you still coasting on the unemployment PPP, benefit line, huh? A lot of these businesses out here are having a hard time hiring people because, at least for the time being, there's a lot of people out there that are still making more money staying at home collecting that unemployment than if they actually applied for a job and worked 40 hours a week. Now, what I want to get at with this video is you need to beat the rush. Right now everybody's coasting, everybody's a little bit intrepid about what's going on. Should I go out there? Should I apply? Should I interview? Should I try to get this job? Now, you got to keep in mind that at the height of the pandemic, there's more than 20 million people unemployed, right? And as we slowly try to reopen things back up, now you're going to have a flood of applicants for each job opening. Like right now, you're not hearing about it so much. You're hearing actually that hiring managers are having a hard time finding people to apply for a job, especially since a lot of people now all of a sudden don't want to work at a restaurant for $10 an hour, right? So some of these places have had to dig into their pockets a little deeper and have that starting hourly wage higher, saying, come work as a server or come work as whatever, and we'll start you at $17 an hour. Now, if you know that that place paid $10 an hour before and now it's paying 17, now it might be looking kind of good to those of you that want to do that type of job. You know what I'm saying? So $7 an hour more ain't bad. Walmart raised its minimum wage that it pays its associates. I ain't knocking down Walmart. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to put food on your table, and I've always advocated the legal way. You know what I'm saying? It's too easy for me or anybody else to get on here and say do this and do that to make your money, you know, illegally. But that's not what this channel is about. My job, my care doing this is keeping as many of y'all out of prison and jail as I can. And a lot of y'all don't really like, well, let me not say a lot of y'all. Some of y'all don't like the prospect of having to put an application out there to 5, 10, 15 different places, hoping that you get a call back, hoping that you get an interview, hoping that you interview well, and hoping to get that call saying, hey, we're interested. Can you start on Monday? It's never a fun process. I hate interviews myself. It always feels a little bit nerve wracking, but trust me, the more that you do them, even if you don't get called back, the more it's going to pay off for you because you start getting used to the questions that they ask. You start kind of, learning from your past interviews how to tweak some of those answers. Like what's your biggest challenge, or how would you handle a difficult coworker is the one that they like to use, right? So some of y'all out there who got a record, the one advantage to all these places hiring, and that right now there isn't too many people applying for these jobs, they're a little bit less picky. But you wait another 4 or 5 months, and Congress decides to stop those unemployment benefits. Now all of a sudden you got maybe 150 people applying for the same job you just did. And if you have a record, now you're going up against people who don't have a record. You're going up against people who have experience. You're going against people who may be younger than you. You know what I'm saying? That these companies may feel more comfortable taking a chance on. So, you got to think to yourself, what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Are you just going to wait it out? Hope that you don't have to, scrap it out with 100 other people trying to apply for that same job, because you already know people are going to try to reach as high as they can. So if you see something that says starting, wage $20 an hour, no experience necessary, How many people you think are going to apply to that job? It's not going to be just you or you and five other people. You're going to have a whole bunch of people applying for that type of job. And depending on what area of the country you live in, $20 an hour is a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's not Bill Gates money, but in a lot of places, you can live somewhat comfortable with $20 an hour if you manage your money right, especially if you have a two-income household or more, especially if you ain't living by yourself, right? So, something to think about. So, I'm just trying to figure out where everybody's mindset's at. You know, what are you thinking? Are you on unemployment? Are you on food stamps? Are you on WIC? Are you on Medicaid? You know, do you feel comfortable staying on that kind of lifestyle the rest of your life? For those of you that have that, sometimes that's a full-time job in itself, making sure that you stay eligible for Medicaid, making sure you stay eligible for food stamps, and then making sure you stay eligible for Section 8, those of you that got Section 8 or housing vouchers or whatever. To me, I'd rather, put in hard work and make my own money. Yeah, you get taxed, the IRS wants their cut. But at the end of the day, you're helping yourself in the long run. Especially if you hook up with the company that offers 401k matching and all that. You're trying to get your money right before you get to 60, before you get to 70. You're not trying to be 60, 65, 68 when all your friends are long and gone. You're by yourself. All your productive years went down the drain. Now what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? And I see that. That's a hard life, because what can you do at that point if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're not self-made? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to hire you at 63? Not a lot of places, even though that would be age discrimination, but they ain't going to tell you that. They're just going to say we chose somebody more qualified, right? So, just trying to figure out with this whole pandemic mess, with so many people that were out of job. And I know that, some people still have concerns, even with the vaccines, whether or not you got it or not. All these different variants that are coming out. I get everybody's concern. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, we got to get back to somewhat normal, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to make that economy keep on rolling. Like I said, paying taxes ain't always fun, man. Oh, never mind. It's not always. It's always never fun. But at the end of the day, that helps fund schools, education system, crime intervention programs, all types of stuff. Not just things in places that you never visit, Not just military budgets, not just all of that. I'm sure, a lot of the money goes to that. But you got to try not to focus on that. The focus is trying to get your money right the right way. Because like I said, man, just look at the news, how many people are getting caught being victims of these shootings out here, or being a prime suspect in these shootings out here, killing other people over $5 over an argument. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just focusing on creating something for themselves, creating a legacy, something to leave behind. Y'all focusing on the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that, carrying a gun is cool. I even thought that when I was a kid. And yeah, you get a sense of power with it. Because at the end of the day, when you carry, you're carrying life and death in your hands, right? Because it's up to you whether you pull it out or not. But it comes with responsibility, and you got to do it right. So once you bring that out into a situation, you got to use it. You might as well, because if you don't use it, then why pull it out? Now you're brandishing. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a whole nother host of legal issues. So a lot of the kids nowadays, they're looking up to the wrong things. Lives are being thrown away, man. Kids are 6 feet under for things that don't really matter. Instagram beefs, Twitter beefs. You gotta raise them, back in the old days. Try to start to get a job. Try to make that money. You know what I'm saying? Try to create something for themselves so they can support a family, put food on the table, pay them bills. Anyways, ADR, this is King Black.